Hey guys, it's Mimi and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I make videos about fashion, what it's like being an author, and I'm currently going through the chapters of my about to be best-selling book because we gotta claim it. But FBoy, Repellent, A Guide to Less Heartbreak and Headache. So those are the videos that I make, and I make videos. I post them on Wednesdays, so come back here Wednesdays at 6 o'clock, I think. But that is the dating guide book, and this is the coloring book that I still am working on, and it's like has different women in it and all these different positive sayings, and it's just a relaxing experience, and it will be linked below. So today's video will be on chapter 8 of the book. If you're not caught up, catch up so you can be where we're at. We're on chapter 8 of the dating book. The other ones will be tagged here or whatever, wherever. So anyway, let's get into chapter 8, double standard. It is on page 32. So if you want to see that, then stay tuned. Okay, so double standard. This is classic FBoy sign, red flag. Basically, what he can do, you cannot do. So you have to be faithful, but he does not have to. You have to check in, but he does not have to. Basically, you have to do more and put up with more. And who's going for that? Not us, right? Because we read the book. We know what's going on. We're not going to let anybody act any type of way with us. We on the same page. If you can do it, I can do it. We can do it together. So, I know. Let's see. Let me go through the chapter. One of the biggest things I would say is this comes up in this situation where you're probably in a situationship, which means you're probably in a gray area. You probably think you guys are something and you're really not, because if a guy wants to be with you, he's going to simply ask you or make it known that you are in a committed something. You're going to be in something, and you're both going to know what that something is. If you're not, you're probably in a situationship, which is, if you want to be in one, that's good. Like, if you don't care, you have other guys, like you're not pressed, then hey, you're both on the same page. Do your thing, sis. But if you're not, and you think you are in a relationship with him and he knows y'all are not in a relationship, that's two different sets of rules. Because when you're in a relationship, you conduct yourself like this, and then when he's in a relationship or not in a relationship, he can conducts himself like this. So you're like this way and he's that way. That's not going to go together. You're going to be on the same page, which is why it has to be clear. And don't ask him to make it clear either, because that is giving him the power. If y'all are not on the same path, y'all are not on the same page, then you make the executive decision and he either does it or not. Okay, so double standard. So in the book, I talked about, I think, one situation. Yeah, so the story time is on page 33. And it's basically, you got to read it for the details. But basically, he said I had to do something. I think this is my story. Is it my story? Some of them are my story, some of them are not. I think this is my story. So basically, the guy, he I think I went out with some friends, and I didn't tell him because we really didn't talk that day and it wasn't a big deal. And I think I posted it on Instagram. I think he said he was really tired, and I was like, okay, cool, talk to you tomorrow or something like that. And then I went out with my friends and then posted it on Instagram because I don't have anything to hide. Like, I'm grown. If I want to go, I'm going to go out. And if I want to post it, I'm going to post it. Because what? I'm grown. Okay? So, and we weren't doing anything. It was like a networking event. We had to get dressed up a little bit. It was like jazz. Like, it wasn't like going to the club and like turning up, getting lit. It was none of that. It's real chill, real classy, nothing to be concerned about or anything like that. So the next morning, I think he was asking me like, oh, where'd you go? And I was like, yeah, I went to this thing with my friends and da-da. Then he was like, did you ask for permission? I was like, from who? Ask permission from who? And he was like, me, you? Why would I do that? I was like, you're not my father. And even then, like, I'm grown. I don't even ask him. So why would I ask you? Why would I do that? Wrong one. And then I had to tell him I'm grown. I'm not asking anybody for permission or nothing. Nothing. Are you? See, that was a red flag, which is why he did not last long after that, because control is also a sign of an abuser. Okay, which is another reason why I wrote this book, to bring awareness to domestic abuse, which is on page 104. I have a custom-made domestic abuse chart right here, so you can get the breakdown of what are the steps of an abuser and what are the signs. So jealousy and control at the beginning, it seems cute, but when it gets excessive, it is an early sign of an abuser. So you have to be aware, which is why when they're doing this double standard, you have to think about, is it control? Is he trying to control me? Is it out of concern? Because if it was out of concern, like, hey, I saw you went to this place, why didn't you let me know so I can make sure you're safe? Right? Not, why didn't you ask me for permission? Permission from who? You know what I mean? So it's like the attitude about it was off, everything was off. And then he didn't have to ask me for permission. So that's where the double standard comes in. He felt like I had to ask him for permission, but he didn't have to ask me for permission. First of all, you shouldn't be asking anybody for permission anyway, unless you're a little kid and you can't drive and you're under your parents' house. That's the only time you should be asking anybody for permission, or unless you're in a jail or something like that. But that's about it. Not your man or your girlfriend. No judgment. Your man or your girl. Why you think about that? Why? And then they don't do that for you either. Think about that. That's wrong. They gotta go. So when you do see that behavior, say, we're gonna be on the same page. Whatever you can do, I can do. So if you, first of all, I wouldn't even do that with the permission thing, because that's too controlling. Permission from who, right? But if it's something else, like, you know, I would like you to check in, or I would, you know, like something simple. What's something simple that you can make, or like ask your boyfriend to do? Like, oh, like, can you call me? Can you let me know when you make it home? That's more like out of concern. And then we can both do that, so we both know when we got home, or something like that. Or, you know what I mean? Like something like that, we're on the same page, and something little like that. Then you can be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can let you know when I get home, because I know you're concerned about my safety and you want to make sure I made it. And then you do that same thing for me. That's not really controlling, and y'all both can do it and on the same page. But nothing with permission. That's too extreme. That's, yeah, controlling is too close to abuse for me. So that's something you definitely have to consider. You have to know what's going on in your relationship. You have to be aware of the dynamic. If you're always asking him, can you do something, that's a big no-no. And I'm pretty sure that he does not do that for you. He don't have to ask you too much of nothing. So that's probably a sign of a narcissist also. We don't like those either. So the moral of the story of chapter 8 is, whatever he can do, you can do. And if it's not, you need to think to yourself, why? And if it goes into controlling behavior, you have to be aware, because that's an early sign of an abuser. Okay? So that is chapter 8. Chapter 9 is turbo. I love a turbo. Those are my favorite kind of FBoys. They are the most fun. I love them. They are my favorite. A turbo, I love a turbo. So if you want to know what a turbo is, chapter 9, we will be talking about it on another Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. Both books will be linked below. They're both on Amazon. And I will talk to you later with another video on a Wednesday around 6 o'clock. Okay? If you need me, I'm on Instagram. You can hit me up, author.mimit.com. Wait. author.mimit at author.mimit. And that's it. I will see you later. All right, bye.